size 15, 16, 100 words per minute. MSD 1. Mr. Vice Chairman, I find there is hardly enough time for me to say all that I want to say with regard to the report of the Ministry of Agriculture and Irrigation. I will confine myself to making some concrete suggestions with regard to certain things which I have in mind. With regard to fertilizers, we know that the position has considerably eased and the prices have come down. But I would like to suggest that more attention should be paid to the production of complex fertilizers rather than to apply individual straight fertilizers. I say this because apart from the question of maintaining purity and avoiding the adulteration involved, it will also make it easier for application in time. The complex fertilizers can be applied both in commercial as well as general agriculture. More attention should be paid to production of complex fertilizers like Sufala and others. Then the prices of these complex fertilizers should also be considerably brought down so that the farmers and the commercial crop growers will make use of them rather than resort to straight fertilizers. There are also certain difficulties with regard to the supply of straight fertilizers. When nitrogen is available, potash will not be available. Sometimes it happens because of the paucity of requirement. So only one type of fertilizer, either nitrogenous or phosphatic, should be utilized. It will be conducive to the proper development of the plants. I would commend and urge upon the Minister that more attention should be paid to the production of complex fertilizers. With regard to pesticides, we now find that there are a large number of different brands of pesticides starting from various compounds. For a country like ours, where a large number of farmers are illiterate, it is better to standardize all these types of pesticides rather than allowing in the market hundreds of different types and patents of pesticides coming from different companies so that they do not confuse the farmers with regard to their application. With regard to price fixation, I have to say that in spite of so many years of efforts, the Agricultural Prices Commission has not been able to have any particular gauging of the cost of production. It has been voiced by so many people in this house and in the other house. Many agriculturists and people who have some practical knowledge of agriculture have been voicing about this. I would like special attention to be paid to this aspect. Like the Tariff Commission study, we should have some other study of the different areas and should come to a definite figure with regard to the cost of production. Then only will we be able to get over this difficulty of having a discussion about it every year and of voicing about the cost of production. If we have a sliding scale based on the cost of production, it would assure a fair return to the grower. If they do not get fair return, they will not produce more. Sir, so much has been talked about the consolidation of holdings. I have read a chapter about the consolidation of holdings, but in practical effect, what result has come out of it, I cannot say. It is only on paper. My friend has been talking about cooperative farming. Cooperative farming experiments have been done in this country. I do not know. I want to hear from the Honorable Minister to tell to what extent that has been successful. If that is successful, I will be the first person to support it. I do not want to go on philosophizing on this matter. I am an agriculturist myself. I was a large landholder and a major portion of my land has been distributed. The tenants have become owners and I hold only the ceiling acreage of land. I am trying to do my cultivation on that. After the implementation of the Act, whether it is today or tomorrow or 2 years hence, where will be the large holders? My point is that everything has to be done for the consolidation of holdings and for providing sufficient impetus not only by way of providing inputs but also by way of organizing proper research, extension and development services. It has been done in the case of some of the commercial crops. You carry to them the fruits of research and development. Then, while distributing the surplus land, another difficulty comes in. Now priorities have been laid down as to how the surplus land is to be distributed. If there is a 3-acre uneconomic holding while distributing surplus land, you are not going to give another 1 acre to him to make it 4 acres and more economic. You are going to provide it to a person who has no land at all. You give him half an acre of land. The 3-acre man continues to be uneconomic and you create another more uneconomic holding by giving half an acre or 1 acre. If you decide on 10 standard acres, then you stick to it. According to me, a landholder must be in a position to go up to 10 standard acres. It is only then that he can provide a decent living for himself, educate his children and make them decent citizens comparable to the people in the urban areas. You calculate their annual income. Sir, I want to say something about the dairy farming. I fail to understand what the policy of the government is with regard to dairy farming, because in many of these ceiling laws you have not provided anything for them. If a person has to do dairy farming, he is unable to get anything more than your 10 acres. He has to be within the ceiling and at the same time he has to do dairy farming. What is the dairy farming that he can do? He can have 2 cows or 1 cow. Is that dairy farming? Is it proper planning?
अगर आपको हमारा डिक्टेशन अच्छा लगता है, पसंद आता है, तो आप हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें, जिससे कि आने वाला नोटिफिकेशन सबसे पहले आपको मिल सके।